I started a little premature there. Whoopsie-doodle. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the post-show of the Otakucast.
The show
If
after
you're
the show.
here.
Your family.
Yeah. We are talking about Weathering with You today, and we're so fucking glad you're here.
Weathering with
Thank
you.
For being here. Thank you for being awesome. Thank you for being our Patreons.
Yeah.
And, we... What?
I was going to say, Weathering with You, directed by Makoto Shinkai, who also did Your Name, which was apparently the highest grossing anime film of all time, as well as The Garden of Words, Children Who Chase Lost Voices, and 5 centimeters per second.
Your Name is also Yojak, our Lord and Master's favorite movie, and I have seen it.
Yeah, apparently he also did the manga for Your Name.
It was good, what I remember.
Like 5 centimeters per second and The Garden of Words. So like a lot of his movies that he's written and directed were also mangas written by him.
Yeah, which is awesome if you get to be involved with your own projects like that.
Yeah, it gives you more creative control.
Honestly, I wish more authors and mangakas and stuff like that would take more creative control over their stuff and things wouldn't get messed up as they do. But, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, well, it happens.
I'm sorry. What up? You know, I'm just blow my nose. Somebody cut it out. Whoever. Sorry. There's some ASMR for you. Angel blows her nose. Sell it. Top dollar.
It's not gonna happen.
Anyway. Now my eye itches. I'm just a hot mess right now. Anyway. So, Weathering with You, I enjoyed it. It was a good movie, but we start off...
Questions.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
No, my questions are never answered in the movie.
We start off with a kid in the hospital. And it's like they're talking about the story. It's a story only they can tell. A secret of this world. Then we see like a beam of sunlight on a roof, and the girl just like starts going to it. And it's like everything's rainy and dreary, and this is one patch that is not raining. And then she goes up to it, and there's a shrine, and the girl prays to it and crosses the gate. And then some weird stuff happens, and she like falls from the sky, and there's fish. And that's a strange way to start the movie, but when you watch it, you understand what's going on. And falling should really be her first concern, though, at this point. Like, no? No?
Look,
that wouldn't be...
Look.
You'd be like, oh, look, are those fish?
Look.
That meme, is this a bird and it's a butterfly? Are those fish? And you're falling. Falling!
After I watched this movie, I watched Dragon Quest Your Story. And I'm gonna be honest with you here. That movie was so awesome. I just forgot most of this movie. I remember key parts of the movie, which is the main character, which we get introduced to after that scene, on a boat.
I'm on a boat.
Apparently wants to run out into the storm for some reason.
Look, he's excited to be rained on. I mean...
I guess! It's not really... I don't know, it's not really a character trait of his later on.
Did you notice he was reading The Catcher in the Rye? And you know,
yeah, I noticed he was reading The Catcher in the Rye.
I couldn't read any of the texting because the dub did not give me the decency to translate the text in any shape or form. So
he is a 16-year-old boy who's heading to Tokyo, and he wants to know where he can get a job that doesn't require he show a student ID.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So then he gets rained on. I appreciate that. And there's this snippet of blue sky, and then just
torrential downpour, and then giant drop of water that hits the boat, causes it to rock, and he gets his life saved by our
red shirt dude. That's what I called him. Red shirt dude. Even when he changed his shirt. That's red shirt dude.
Keik? Kai? Deadbeat father.
I wrote his name down. When I finally actually heard his name, I wrote it down. But,
Kai.
Whatever. But,
Mr. K.
And then the red shirt catches him, and it's immediately sunny.
Yeah.
So then he's like, I'm gonna take you out to eat. And
well, he gives him he buys food for him to thank him for saving his life. This is what he does. Our main character, whatever his name is.
Oh, I find out his name much later, and I write it down. But he is just
Medora?
main character.
Madoka?
Something. But and the kid's like explains that he's in Tokyo and he's looking for a job to see realities. Why did I write that? He's not in. That's a strange thing.
I don't know. He's looking for a job because he's looking for a job. That's pretty much.
Look,
it's not.
I've been sick. I
Look,
was watching this having a
This
fever.
dude left his home, and abandoned his parents and abandoned his school and everything, for
So we start to see.
that's
Or
it.
who knows?
We're
we don't-
never
we-
told.
No, we never told why.
He
we've
just,
never
he
told.
just says he can't go back there, and I'm like, but why? For pourquoi?
I don't know.
Por qué?
I have
Give me
no
a-
idea.
Give me a reason. I thought we would get a reason, but we never get a reason. Spoilers. We never get a reason, ever.
But anyway, we go into this sequence where he's trying to get a job, and
He's failing
he
to get a
doesn't-
job. He doesn't get a job.
he's running out of money. He keeps getting stopped by the police, and then he's hiding in an alley, and he sees this little cat, and some
Named
dude
Ame.
comes out and kicks him around, and
knocks over a trash can, which our
Yeah.
main character finds a gun.
Yeah,
Big plot point later.
who just
Why was there a
okay.
gun? Why was there a gun in a recycling bin? That's a good question. That is
Look,
a
I don't
very
know.
good question
don't
that
know.
we don't get told the answer
So
to.
then
I
we
would
fast
love to
forward
know.
a little bit, and he falls asleep in a McDonald's, and he has a dream about standing on a cliff because, whatever. And McDonald's employees gives him a burger, and she's like, kind of feels sorry for him. She's like, unless you want
Yeah.
chowder again, just take the burger. And then, he thanks her and all that kind of stuff. But then he he's on a bus, and then he sees this like little boy that I only took a note of it because I'm like, this.
Lady.
He's like a ladies' man. Like he's sitting on the
Yeah.
bus with one girl and he's sweet talking her, and then she gets off
And
and
she
another
gets
girl
off,
gets
and
on.
another girl gets on immediately. Yeah,
And he starts
even the
sweet-talking her, too.
main character's like, he's a playboy.
Yes. And then he starts perving on a woman. He gets to a place and he pervs on a woman laying on the couch a little bit.
It's not
But-
just he gets to a place. He goes to Mr. K. He gets the card from
Yes.
him, and he goes
We
in
don't-
to meet him.
Okay. And then she gets up and apparently she works for Red Shirt Guy, and
Mr.
she
K.
leads him to believe he believes that she's a mistress for Mr. K.
Yes.
Because I don't know.
I don't know. He's
but-
got weird ideas.
I don't know either. And Red Shirt Guy comes in to the job,
Mr.
and
K.
he's like, "Okay, my job is writing about urban legends for a magazine," and that's pretty much
The magazine
job
that he
there.
runs, pretty much. He runs the magazine.
Yeah,
They're the National Enquirer of Japan.
pretty much.
So
But
that's
then he goes with the girl to interview a psychic, something about a fox spirit and dragon god and weather
a
power.
fox god and a dragon god. The fox god gives people the ability to control the sun, and the dragon god makes it rain. And more people are being born as dragons than foxes, so the weather makes it rain.
Yes. I didn't even get that much from the dub, but yes.
Yeah,
And
that's literally
then we're
what they
back
said.
with Red Shirt, and both are skeptical about these weather powers, but he hires a kid anyway. And the room and meals
We can-
included,
yeah, we
and they
can
try to
just
give him.
do large swaths of skipping here because it's just a montage of him working the
and
job.
cleaning, answering the phone, yeah.
Yeah,
And he rides around with Miss Natsui, which I refer to as woman because I forget her name, and helps her with
Lady.
interviews sometimes. He works his butt off. And we see Red Shirt's a bit of a drunkard,
that's why I was.
but that's
yeah.
okay. What?
That's why I was just like, we can skip this. There's large swaths of nothing that happen in this part of the movie.
Well,
It's
yeah, I was
just-
summarizing it. I'm skipping. I'm summarizing. And then he sees the McDonald's girl later on. Is that good enough? That's what I was going to go with next.
Who
Is that good enough, skipping?
apparently is being led to a hostess club, which
Yeah.
okay,
She's being pressured to do it, mind you.
yeah, which is very important because if you don't know, there's kind of two kinds of hostess clubs. You get the normal kind where it's a bit nicer. You're not really there to touch the ladies as much as you're there to be served food and drink by beautiful women. And they encourage you to drink because they get tips and more money based on how much you spend. Then there's the hostess clubs that I think they were leading her to, which are the full service kind of hostess club, if you catch my drift, which are normally in the red
now,
light
mind
district.
you, this is the dude that kicked the kid in the alley. Like,
yes, it is. And he grabs her arm and runs off with her, and she's like, what are you doing? And he's like, what are you doing? And they catch up with him, kick the kid to the ground, pin him down.
Yeah.
And he's like, what do you think you're doing, smack?
Yeah, not a good time. And then
the
kid pulls out the gun.
Pulls out the gun, which apparently he thought was a toy, which, okay, first of all, I have an airsoft pistol. I have one.
I do too.
Doesn't feel anything like a real gun.
Nothing like a real gun. Nope.
No.
Mm-mm. He fires and misses, and then the girl and him run.
And she's very mad at him because he could have killed someone, which he could have.
Honestly, completely validated anger.
Oh, 100% valid. 100%
Yeah.
valid. And he gets upset and throws the gun, and then she comes back, which, look. You don't go back.
She goes back.
Some dude fires a gun at another guy. You cut your losses.
Anyway, she goes back, and she says, "Watch," and then she does like a prayer pose, and then the sun comes out.
Yeah.
So she's a sunshine girl. And she says she's older than him, which I don't understand why that was a big deal at all. Like, even at the end, you find out that she's actually not, and then he's all excited about it. I'm like,
he doesn't care that she's older. She just needs to be older so she can work.
Yeah, that's true. And then we find out that the little kid on the train, it was her little brother, and her brother lives in an apartment. Yeah. And that's right. There was something about school kids finding a bubble of floating water in the middle of the city.
Yeah, it was weird.
That was weird.
Really.
And then we go back to him doing his working a thing again, and then we see the lady, Miss Natsui, looking up about these strange water blobs and some strange occurrences.
Water fish that disappear.
Yeah, and then she's like, "Oh well, I theorize that the cloud could hold a whole ecosystem," and
I thought there'd be more to it.
Then we find out about Mr. K. Huh? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just thought there'd be more to all that, or that it would be a deeper.
I did too.
No.
Nope. And we find out about Mr. K. He's been trying to get visitation with his sickly daughter. That
She's
grandma
not
apparently
really
has.
sickly. She just has asthma.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean. But the way grandma was putting it out there, like,
my best friend growing up had asthma.
I had asthma. I still kind of do. Grandma's kind of a cunt. Not gonna lie.
He was fine. He did great. He played football.
It's because it's rainy.
He wrestled. Yeah, he wrestled. He was a wrestler and had asthma.
Look, and then you're right, because I was joined the military and everything, and I had asthma, and as long as you manage it, it's fine. Keep an eye on it. And then the boy looks to the Sunshine Girl's place, and they chat, blah, 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 blah. And they talk about, oh, you should go back, and he's like, no, I'm not going back. And...
you're a runaway.
Huh?
You're a runaway, and blah, blah,
oh,
blah,
yeah,
blah,
yeah,
blah.
And, they decide they're gonna do a business.
make
First,
sunshine.
yeah. And they make a little logo and a price, and they find the first job, so making it sunny for a market. So they go there,
And we
and
get a
look,
montage.
we do. We get a montage where they get paid a lot of money to make it sunny.
They get paid a lot of money by a lot of different people to make it sunny. Yeah.
Yep.
Montage.
And the red shirt guy still trying to visit his kid. Can't do it.
They end up having like one big last job due to like all the other jobs they've been
They
working.
take a break. They do it for an elderly woman, then they take a break for a bit.
Yeah, because
too many news, too many times caught on request. Yeah.
Yeah.
And go ahead. And then I found this part interesting about the older woman. They're doing it for Grandpa's Obon, and her husband.
It's the 1 year anniversary of his death. So in Japan,
I didn't know.
they light incense.
I didn't know about that. I found it very interesting.
They light incense and fires and stuff so that the spirits can find their way back to Earth.
Which is really cool. And then the grandma's like, "Well, let's do it for your mom too."
Yeah.
Because the little girl, the girl,
her mom died
Sunshine Girl and her brother, Sunshine Girl and her brother lost their mom.
Yeah. Last year. When?
Yes. And it was sweet and it was cute. But then we go back to Red Shirt and he's painting. That's what I was in my notes. I don't
remember that.
I don't look.
Okay.
Okay. Well, anyway, the rain's not normal. It's record breaking because no, that's right. They're interviewing this old dude at a shrine about a painting.
Yeah.
That's
about a painting,
right.
about the weather, and he said that there's been weather maidens for 800 years, and they've been all over.
There used to be a weather maiden in each village, and there's a price to pay.
Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, and then we find some dudes are chasing the nightclub dude, looking for the kid, and they're investigators, and they're talking to him about the gun.
Yeah, and he fired a freaking gun.
Yeah, so now we have investigators looking for this kid.
Guys didn't know guns are not really 100% legal in Japan.
Guns are bad, Kai.
Yeah, there's a reason why the Yakuza are the ones that have them.
And then after that, the little brother and main character have a little thing about the girl's birthday, and he's just like, "Look, it's I know my sister works hard and she's not able to be a teenager, so if you're gonna do teenager stuff with her, at least treat her right," kind of thing. Like little brother doing little brother things.
He's not convinced that he wants her to do teenager things with this guy, but he's like, yeah.
It could be worse options. But the kid goes and buys her a ring, and then they're on the last Sunshine job at a park for Mr. K to play with his daughter.
Yeah, so he can because his grandma won't let him see her. Grandma won't let him see her when it's raining, which is kind of messed up. Grandma's just. I said she's a cunt, and I mean it. Grandma's a cunt. So, this is kind of where things start to go off the rails.
Yeah, look, that was cute though. We had them playing with the little girl, and it was very cute. And we find out that one lady is actually like Red Shirt's niece.
Yeah. He thought she was his mistress, but it turns out it's his niece.
Yeah. Pretty funny. And you also find out that Red Shirt's wife got into a car accident and died.
Yep.
Yeah. And
which explains a lot.
There's just lots of chatting and cute little scenes, and then it's our main character and Sunshine Girl walking alone, and he's building up the courage
to give her the ring.
Give her the ring and tell her his feelings. But she gets talking first, and this is where it starts getting weird. Magic world starts swirling around, and then she floats in the air,
wafted up into the air, and comes back down, and kind of reveals that she's turning watery.
Yeah, her arms kind of transparent, and then we have story time how she became a Sunshine Girl,
which is basically what we saw in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
In case you forgot what you saw an hour ago, here's this.
Oh, am I saying it? Okay. Well, she's in the hospital with her dying mom, or I think that's what it was. And
Yeah.
then she looks out the window and there's sunshine, and she goes over there and she goes to the shrine and she prays and
Well,
steps through it. And
there's
then
a little thing that happened that sort of. She says that's when she became the Sunshine Girl, but when she's in the hospital, the water comes under the window and starts floating towards her a little bit.
did it? I didn't see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So she
But
was
anyway,
already
and
kicked.
then they're back at her place. And yeah, I didn't see that at all. That's interesting.
Yeah, they're back at her place, and then he goes to leave, and I guess
It's a Popo. Popo
yeah,
at the door.
Popo are at the door, so he goes into the bathroom. She tries to convince the Popo that she doesn't know who he is. They leave. He goes to leave.
They're like, we'll come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, because they're worried about the Sunshine Girl living alone in this apartment with her brother without a parent, an adult.
Which, this is your first instance of maybe this girl's not 18.
Yeah. Maybe. I didn't think she was at all. I'm just like,
no,
she's
she didn't
just-
look 18. Like, he even
No.
commented on that. And the thing is that if she were 18, it wouldn't matter.
Not at all.
Well, yeah.
They're still-
So
Yeah. They wouldn't bat an eye if she was 18 living there with her brother, but
yeah.
yeah, so they're like, we're gonna come back tomorrow and do a welfare check on you guys. So the girls get scared and doesn't want to be separated from her brother, and the kid's phone rings. And then we go back to red shirt guy, Mr. Uda. That's what I have written. Uda.
Mr. K.
Comes up and they're talking to his cops are showing up and talking to him at his place. And they're like, oh, we're considering it a kidnapping. And he's like, what? And he's like, I didn't do nothing. The cops are still sus. That is literally in my notes. Still sus. And you're like, you give the kid a place and fires him. And so he's got to fire the kid, because if he shows, they'll arrest him.
Uh-huh.
And
so
Red Shirt's, trying to get custody of his daughter.
Yeah, so
So
he tells the main character, he's like, look, you can't come back.
Yeah.
So a main character goes off with...
He gives him a wad of cash, though.
Yeah, he gives him severance pay of like 50,000 yen?
Hadoka! Hadoka is the name of the kid.
Hadoka,
yeah. Hadouken!
Hadouken!
So he goes back to
Shoryuken!
Sunshine Girl and Little Bro. And they gotta go, and because they all start... She's like, go home, go back, you have a place to go back to. And he's like, nah, let's run
Nah,
away.
B. Nah.
And they run away.
So they run away, and then it's sort of like a montage of being unable to get a hotel, even in the seedy red light district.
While a typhoon-strength rainstorm's brewing in the background.
Yeah, it's flooding and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Literally, they can't get a hotel in the red light district. Like, that's pretty bad.
So when they stop under a bridge, and they're kind of chilling there for a bit, and we see the niece go to her uncle and just gives him a thorough tongue lashing.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Which I understand both sides of it, though.
Yeah, he wants his daughter, but at the same time, you just can't let... Where's he gonna go?
Yeah, but then Mr. K says something interesting. He says, if the story about the Weather Maiden is true, she's a human sacrifice. And if a human sacrifice could fix the weather, then he would be fine with it.
Yeah.
Oof.
Big oof
and
energy.
We see some cops have found our runaways, and
so they
it
run.
takes them, yeah, running. Girl freaks out, prays, and then
yeah, he's gonna get arrested.
Yeah, he freaks out.
The police are literally like, "Stop resisting!" And I'm like, "Well, I mean, you guys said resisting arrest, but you didn't tell him he was under arrest."
No, they didn't.
You can't shout "Stop resisting arrest" if you haven't informed the person that they're under arrest.
Yeah, well, she didn't, and then she freaked out because they were trying to they were messing with her brother. And she does the pray thing, and lightning strikes.
And freaking lightning bolt explodes a truck.
Yeah, and then they run. But we see that transparency, that water bubbly shit spreading. And then they get a hotel room.
Yeah, they succeed in getting a hotel room with a big bed, a big bathtub, and...
Oh, it's like a suite.
Yeah. $280 a night.
Which
dollars.
but they have a place to stay.
Yeah, so they
and they have
stay.
food.
They get all the food.
And
Boys take a bath together. She takes a bath. They
yeah,
do some karaoke.
they have cute.
They have the moment he gives her the ring.
Yeah,
Then
it's
she sort
cute.
of reveals her body's mostly transparent.
Yeah,
Yeah. Big
yeah,
the big moment, the big shocking. He's like, "Look, I'll get a job. I'll have enough money to take care of all three of us. I'll take care of the three of us." And then they kind of like go to bed, and she goes, a poof.
yeah. And the girl also reveals that she knows she's a human sacrifice. She
Yeah,
knows
and
the story, the lore.
yeah,
And she's like, "Will you take care of my brother because it's the only thing that's gonna save us?" And then he's just like, "Yeah, no, don't
no,
do
because
that."
you're not gonna die. Blah blah. Yeah,
They
whatever.
hug each other and cry.
And they go,
You know,
yeah, they have like
the
I
kid has a
got a
dream
dream.
again. Some with a cliff of patch of sunlight, whatever.
It was
And the girl
about
has a
him being
dream.
back in his home. Yeah.
Yeah, and the girl has a dream
So
and uh, met kid. She looked like a lost kitten. She's happy she's not him. I don't know what that note is. Cut that out because
when she first saw him, he looked like a lost kitten.
oh yeah, you're right. That's what she was. She was dreaming about him the first time she saw him and blah blah blah. But anyway, so she wakes up and in a foggy field and she's made of water and she starts to cry.
Yes, and then she drops
The
the
next
ring.
morning, yes, she does. The next morning, our
Police bust
main
in.
Hodoken wakes up and
Yeah,
she's gone. He knows the rain, the
she's
sunshine girl.
gone.
By the
He's
way, she's
freaking
gone.
out. Police bust in. He gets arrested.
Yep, he dreamed that she went into the sky.
So did
So
the
now the
brother.
sun's shining. Yeah, all of them dreamed that same dream.
Hey
now the sun's
there,
shining.
Mr. Blue.
And people are happy, weather's warming up, and the kid knows what it means. And then the ring drops by his feet, and he freaks out.
Freaks out, grabs it, gets arrested, gets taken to the police station. We get Pompadour Cop, as I have nicknamed him, who's like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm going to interrogate you. And main character's just like, nah, dude, and books it.
Well, he first asked, he's like, look, I have to do this. And they're like, no.
Nah.
And then he books it.
Books it.
And they try to stop him, but they suck. That is in my notes.
Man,
they try to stop him, but they suck.
Look, man, you are making this so much worse for yourself. Every moment is just worse. So he runs away. Niece girl finds him, gives him a ride. They're running. Cops go to Mr. K to talk to him. And he's like,
Can we talk about little brother? How he's still pimping, even when little brother.
Yeah, little brother's still pimping. Got two girls visiting him in the place.
He's entertainment, and he
got a female officer. He's got a female officer. He's pimping. And
both the girls come in and visit him.
Yeah.
And then the cops visit the red shirt.
I was so worried about you. My heart just kept beating. Don't you want to feel it? And the officer's just like, what?
Excuse me? Young lady
what?
kind of thing.
Officer's just like, what are kids up to these days?
Pretty much. And then we see the cops are visiting the red shirt, and he finds out that the kid ran away. And then we see the kid and the niece, they're still riding on the little scooter.
She's like, maybe I know what I need to do now. I need to be a speed cop. And he's just like, I don't think you can do that now.
Well, that's after the chase.
That's what's happening the whole time.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, I guess. But that's fine. And yeah, she does say that. And then she's like, go on, do your thing. And he runs off and he starts climbing the building. And
well, he starts running down the train tracks.
Well, yeah, running down the train tracks, and rail workers shout that place is off limits.
You're gonna get arrested, kid.
Like that's the least.
Joke's on you. I was already arrested today.
And Red Shirt's inside, and they talk.
And he's like, "Look, you need to stop. You need to go. We need to explain what's going on." And he's like, "No, I just need to get to her. I just need to get to her." He's freaking out.
How did Red Shirt know that he would be there?
That's a good question, isn't it?
I literally paused it and I went,
that's a real good question.
I did not follow, because I was dozing off the first part of this movie.
You know
I actually had to finish watching it in two parts, but I was like...
Because the plot demanded it. Let me
What?
ask you another question. How is it that the ring fell directly in front of him when the cloud that she was on was nowhere near that area?
You could say that's magic because she
The
might have been
plot
thinking about him.
demanded it.
Blech.
Because the ring fell way after she'd already disappeared.
Anyway, so they have a little struggle, and he slaps
Slaps
Hodokin.
him to the ground. He goes to the ground. He grabs the gun that's just been sitting there for weeks or months.
Sure, because there's random guns everywhere.
Well, no, remember that's the building where he threw the gun.
Oh, I was
That
wondering
was the
where that
gun
gun
he
came.
threw.
Okay, that's
Like,
fair.
this was a very key example of Chekhov's gun. It showed a gun. He fired that gun. He threw that gun. It showed us where the gun landed, and then in the end, he grabbed that gun from its landing place. That's
Yeah.
a good example of how to properly use a narrative device.
You're right. I'll
And
give
then
you
the
that.
police show up.
Oh, he fires the gun in the air, yeah. And they have this little standoff.
But he's got to stand up
And-
with the cops. The cops are like, "Don't make me shoot you." And I'm just sitting there going, "You're the dumbest protagonist in the world right now."
Look, he
You
just
are
wants
pointing...
to see. He wants
I
to
get
save
that,
Sunshine Girl,
But
and
why
no one's
why point the gun at Mr. K?
because Mr. K wasn't armed to point one back.
He didn't have a gun.
Yeah, he wasn't armed. He couldn't point one back. So
And the
I mean,
cops
come
are all
on.
pointing guns at him, and he starts pointing guns at the cops, and I'm like, "Don't do that. Don't do that. They'll shoot you."
Yeah, but he points one to
It was a
Mr.
miracle.
K, and I did feel sorry because Mr. K was doing his best to, because you got to think. I look at it from the adult's point of view and the kid's point of view. This kid's freaking delusional from the adult's point of view.
Yeah, he's crazy.
The kid's point of view, he just wants to try to save her. So I can see
Yeah.
both things. Like, that's all he wants, is he wants to try to save her, and he feels like he's running out of time, which, yeah. But the red shirt tries to de-escalate it, but it doesn't work.
No.
And so the kid tries to run again. He gets tackled by a cop.
Starts
and
getting
then
handcuffed.
Mr. K helps him, taking down 2 cops by himself.
I think it's because he realizes, like, he wants to see his wife again, and he knows the kid's feelings of wanting to see that person again. So he's
and
like,
wanting to see his daughter too. He's just seeing that one person that matters.
So
and,
he's like, "Go,
I
kid."
get it. And then little brother comes in a dress.
Because he had a plan where he got his ex-girlfriend to dress up as one of his current girlfriends and come in so that he could switch clothes with her and sneak out.
They did the old switcheroo, and I love that. I love that he was pimping and got his girlfriends in on it. It's hilarious.
And got his ex in on it. Like, damn,
Yes.
man. Like, number one, he already has 2 girlfriends, but he's also got an ex? How many girls this dude got?
I don't know. So then the kid runs in, he tackles a cop,
pimpin'.
and then he looks at Hodokin, and he's like, "Bring my sister back."
Go get my sister.
So then the kid's running up the stairs.
I like that nobody questioned why he was in a dress.
Nobody did. It was fine.
Nah, he's just like,
Hey,
all right.
you do what you gotta do to escape the popo, man.
He's just like, no, I get it, man. You gotta do what you gotta do.
So we have this other little montage where he's running up the stairs, and literally nothing happens, but he runs up the stairs.
Well,
But it's
stairs
beautiful,
kind of
though.
breakaway.
Yeah, a breakaway, a little relaxed moment before we get to coming towards the finale.
And then
And,
he
like,
runs to the gate.
He runs to the gate, and then he's falling, and
He gets
strange
eaten by
sky
a-
beast,
Get eat-
random
gets
land
eat-
masses.
Yeah, gets eaten by a water whale.
Yeah. And then he finds the girl,
Whale.
and she's like sleeping like magical
On the
water
grass
droplets.
with waterfish. They look more. They
Yeah.
call them fish, but they look more like frogs. Because they had like little froggy
magic
leggies and were
water.
kicking. I
Yeah,
don't know.
magic water. But he wakes her up, and he tells her. Then he's like, "We're gonna get out of here. Jump with me."
I don't care about the world. I don't care if it rains or if there's blue skies. All I care about is you.
It's very sweet, though.
I mean, sure.
It's very, very cute.
This
Come on
is I just have questions. I just have so
Look,
many questions.
look, and then they jump.
How'd they
And
survive?
they begin to start plummeting down hand in hand
Why'd they
because that's
survive?
the best idea. That's the best way to handle this. Let's
Yeah,
jump.
skydiving. I mean, what else are
Is
you gonna
it?
do? You're already in the sky.
I mean, they're gripping onto each other and they're talking to each other. And she's like, he wants her to go home, and she's like, if I do, the weather will be bad. And doesn't care. And they're falling and falling some more. And he's like, pray for yourself. And then we're back in the real world. And
They're on the
Kai
ground.
is, I cannot read my own handwriting.
He's getting arrested.
That's what that word is.
Because he punched
Arrested.
2 cops.
Which
What do
is
you
fair.
think's gonna happen?
And then
You
some
can't
lightning.
deck
in
2
the
cops
sky.
and expect to just walk away.
And then there's a loud cry and some weird something that happens, and then it starts pouring
It
rain.
rains.
Yeah. So little
And it
brother
doesn't-
and the niece is in custody too, and Red Shirt looks sad.
Yeah,
Sad boy
and
potato.
it don't stop raining. And it never
Nope.
stopped raining, and it don't stop raining, and it don't stop raining, and it don't stop raining. And apparently he has to go back to his hometown
Yeah, I don't know.
to go through. Well, he goes to we cut to his like graduation. There's a graduation song because it's like 3 years later. Because he says it doesn't stop raining for 3 years.
You just skipped to the end of the movie. Like, I still have like
That's
2
what
pages.
Because that's what happens next.
No, the kid and Sunshine Girl are laying by the shrine and holding hands, and then the rain kept going for 3 years. You missed that. Okay, sorry.
I'm sorry. Well, I stated that they were laying on the shrine and they're laying on the ground, and then it goes 3 years. Yeah, I didn't skip nothing. Thank you.
Yeah, okay,
Thank
good up.
you.
So we see them singing
that's
the
just
song,
what happens.
yes, and we hear that he was arrested
he
and put on
doesn't-
trial and probation, and that he can
Given
finish high
probation
school.
for 3 years. 3
And
years. We never
He's
see his
graduated
parents.
now. No, and we never find
Yeah.
out what he happened between him and his parents or his family
No.
that caused him to run away.
He just goes back to Tokyo. He's like, I
And so,
graduated
yeah,
now,
he
time to
goes-
go back to Tokyo.
And he goes back to look for this girl that he saw 3 years ago. Last saw 3 years ago.
Well, he goes to get a job, and he gets an apartment, and tries to get a part-time job, and he's gonna go to college, and he goes and he finds Mr. K, and Mr. K is just like, just go to the girl already. But first, he
Yeah.
goes to the old lady because she put in a sunshine request 2 years ago.
Yep.
And she's not living in the same place because it's now flooded. And he's like, oh, it sucks that it's flooded. And she's like, well, Tokyo used to be a bay. And the only reason there was a landmass here is because we humans changed it. And then
Yep.
he goes and he sees Mr. K, and Mr. K is like, the weather's gonna do what it want to do.
Pretty much.
So
and
it's
then,
yeah.
Oh, we kind of forgot about the cat. I mean, the cat didn't matter this whole time.
No,
but
it
he
didn't
adopted
matter.
a cat in that
he adopted
alley.
a cat
the
named.
cat
No,
that
it talks
fed,
about him, Ame. But he
they called it
put-
Rain
Yeah, Ame.
in the dub. And he's
It's
fat now.
Ame,
Little
I
fat cat.
Yeah, that was funny. And the cat and Kay have like the same look. When he's like,
Yes.
just go to the girl, and the cat's just like, meow.
It was cute. And I was like,
Yeah.
I hope, because that's what I thought. I'm like, when it's been 3 years, I'm like, I hope somebody took care of the cat because he
Yeah,
was
he
cute.
kept-
I'm glad Kay took care of the cat. And he finds out that he'll, blah, blah, blah. He sees her.
Yeah.
I don't know what he goes out looking, walking, and wondering
Goes
what
up
he'll
the
say.
hill
and he finally
like
sees her.
yeah,
Yeah. And he sees her praying, and he just instantly starts crying.
yeah, and
Monologuing about what they did change the world, and
Yeah.
and then they run to each other and hug and hold hands, and then credits roll.
yeah.
Look, nothing after the credits. The credits just have some
there
graphics of,
wasn't.
of like the movie
Yeah.
and stuff. I enjoyed it, even though we picked on it a little bit. We have good fun. I enjoyed the movie. I would definitely watch it again.
It was okay.
Look, romance are not always my thing, but it was done with enough sci-fi elements that kept me going. What is this? I never got answers for what really was happening,
No,
other than ancient god wanted young girl as
Oh.
sacrifice.
that's Japanese.
But that's okay. Yeah, you're
Pretty
right.
much
We
most
never got
Japanese
answers for what the
legends.
boy did that he ran away from home. But I
No.
guess it doesn't really matter. We could find out that he killed a man or that his dog passed away,
No.
and it wouldn't change the story at all. Honestly, if
Hmm.
he killed a man, that'd make a little bit more sense why he was running around with a gun everywhere. But
Well, he just found the gun.
I was,
More about how
was
he
so
knew how to
willing
use
it.
Yeah, how he knew
Exactly.
how to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
had questions that didn't get answered.
But what
Yeah,
are your final thoughts on this movie?
It was okay. If you like romance films, you'll probably like it. I don't really
Look,
care
I've
for
seen a
romance.
whole lot worse.
So.
I enjoyed it. It was entertaining. It was a good story, and it is
I watched.
Yojak.
Yeah,
And
Yojak
now's the
loved it.
time you could totally come in and tell us about the
I
characters.
watched Dragon Quest: Your Story after that, and let me tell you something. That was a movie with action, adventure,
DC,
romance.
we're not talking about Dragon Quest: Your Story.
But it was so good.
We're talking about Weathering with You.
Yeah, but I
Which
give
can
Dragon
we just say
Quest
that
10
just
out
the
of 10.
title itself?
Yeah.
The title itself, Weathering, like weather, and also weathering, like weathering through the storm with you.
I know.
Very clever title. But how
Yeah,
many?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I give Dragon Quest: Your Story like 10 dragons out of 10 dragons. It was really
That's
good.
not what we're talking about.
It's a lot of plot twists that I didn't expect.
How many magic frogfish, magic water frogfish, do you give this movie, Weathering with You, out of 10?
Nobody's gonna like my rating. So how many do you give it?
I'm gonna give it a solid 7. It wasn't awful.
Yeah, it's like a 6.
It was above average. I mean, one of the better anime movies I've seen. It was not
one of the better ones
but
we
I
watched.
enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm gonna give it a solid 7 magic water frogfish out of 10.
Anything's better than Low Over the Wall. So.
Yes, but even then, we still gave that a decent rating, though. What do we give that?
Didn't.
Like a 4? Like a 4?
3. I gave it like a
3
1.
and a 4. No, we didn't go that low.
Really low.
I want to see the day we give something a 1.
Yeah, no, I give it like a 6.5. Only because I don't really care for slice of life.
Normally I don't either, but this was done and well enough that it kept me invested, kept me entertained. So, yeah. Good shit.
If you like romance, just check it out. If you don't like romance, just don't watch it.
If you liked Your Name, because once again, this was made by the same
That's why I said
everything.
Like romance. If you don't like romance.
And even I heard there were some same characters in there from Yojak, same characters. So yeah, if you liked Your Name, or Your Name is like the top grossing anime film. So obviously a lot of people liked Your Name. Watch this one.
I already told you guys, if you don't like romance, just don't watch it.
But Your Name was also a romance, and it did really, really well. So
most people like romance.
So then, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it.
If you're a fan of psychological horror anime, don't watch this because it's not a psychological horror.
I mean, you can be fans of more than one thing. I like psychological horror.
I just don't like slice of life romance. Just don't like it.
And now we're back to DC shitting on everything. Back to you, DC.
No, I was literally talking about how awesome Dragon Quest Your Story was.
Anyway.
And that had romance, but it wasn't the main focus.
What's our movie for next week?
Red Line.
Red Line. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's bad.
It's got racing in it.
Oh. Great. My favorite.
Yeah.
Yay. I hope it's not like NASCAR. They're making a left turn! They're making another left turn! I wonder what's gonna happen next. That was a Jeff Dunham joke for you.
It is. It's got racing. It's like F-Zero.
Is it like Speed Racer? Ha!
No, like F-Zero. You'll see.
I don't know what that is.
You'll see.
I might like it. I might not. You might like it. You might not. You guys will have to return and continue being our Patreons to watch that one. And next time is our last post
season 1 ends.
Season 1. Yeah. So, thanks for being here. Thanks for being awesome. Keep being awesome. If you guys like this, hit us up. If you guys hated it, hit us up. Tell us what you thought of it. I'd be happy to chat with you about this movie. I'm sure DC would too.
No, I don't really care enough to talk about it.
Oh, there you go.
I don't have strong opinions about this film, so I'm not going to really argue with you.
All right, neutral man of Neutralville. But anyway, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.